Your cat is staring at you right now. Maybe they're sitting on the counter. Maybe they're watching you from across the room with that slow, half-lidded gaze that makes you feel like you're being studied or judged. And you've probably always assumed that they see you as their owner. They're human, the tall creature who controls the food. But here's what the science actually says, and it's going to change the way you look at your cat forever. Your cat doesn't see you as human at all. They never have. And what they actually see you as, it's both stranger and more beautiful than anything you've imagined. We tend to assume that animals understand the world the way we do. That your cat looks at you and thinks, okay, this is a human, a different species, my caretaker. It's a reasonable assumption. Dogs, for example, actually do seem to register that we're a separate kind of creature. Studies show dogs have developed specific social behaviors that they use only with humans, behaviors they don't use with other dogs. They've evolved over thousands of years to read our faces, our emotions, our intentions. Dogs know we're not dogs. Cats, on the other hand, they apparently missed that memo entirely. And the reason why tells us something profound about the way cats work and the way they've always worked. Back in 2015, anthrozoologist Dr. John Bradshaw at the University of Bristol published research that sent shockwaves through the cat science world. His conclusion was startling. Cats essentially treat humans like large, clumsy, slightly unpredictable cats. Not a different species, not an owner, a fellow cat, just bigger, less graceful, and honestly a little weird to be around. The evidence for this is in the behaviors cats use with us. When your cat rubs their face against your leg, that's called bunting. Cats do this to mark family members, to spread their scent and signal belonging. They don't do it to trees. They don't do it to strangers. They do it with the cats they've bonded with. And they do it with you. When your cat kneads on your lap, that slow, rhythmic push of their paws, that's a behavior carried over from kittenhood, when they knead against their mother to stimulate milk. It's the most vulnerable, trusting thing a cat can do. And they're doing it to you. When your cat brings you a dead bird or a half-alive mouse and drops it proudly at your feet, that's not cruelty and it's not random. That's a cat teaching a fellow cat how to hunt. Because in their world, you're part of the group. You're family. You're just not very good at catching prey. Now here's where it gets even more interesting. Because if cats see us as fellow cats, that raises a question. Cats don't meow at each other. Adult cats in the wild are almost completely silent with one another. The meow, as far as researchers can tell, is a communication system that cats developed specifically to talk to humans. Cats figured out, over thousands of years of living alongside us, that we respond to vocalizations. So they evolve a language just for us. Your cat's meow isn't cat talk. It's human talk invented by cats, customized for your specific ears. And if you have multiple cats at home, you've probably noticed that they each have a slightly different voice with you than they do with each other. That's because each of your cats has built a unique communication system based on what sounds get the biggest reaction from you. Specifically, your cat didn't just adapt to humans. Your cat adapted to you. But let's go deeper because the science gets even more emotionally loaded when we start looking at attachment theory. In 2019, researchers at Oregon State University ran a study modeled almost exactly on the same attachment experiments used to study human infants and their parents. They put cats in an unfamiliar room with their owners for 2 minutes, then had the owner leave, and then watched what happened when the owner came back. What they found was stunning. Over 65% of cats displayed what's called secure attachment. That means when their owner left, they showed signs of stress. When the owner came back, they calmed down, briefly greeted them, and then went back to exploring the room, using the owner's presence as a safe base, exactly the way a securely attached human infant uses their mother. This isn't a quirk or a fluke. It's the same psychological pattern that defines the deepest, most foundational bonds in nature. Your cat isn't indifferent. They're not cold. They're not tolerating you because you own the house. They're using you the same way a child uses a parent, as their anchor to the world. And that changes everything about how you should interpret your cat's behavior. The slow blink isn't boredom. It's trust. In the cat world, closing your eyes near another living creature is an act of extraordinary vulnerability. It means, I'm not afraid of you. I'm not on guard around you. You are safe to me. When your cat slow blinks at you across the room, they are, in the language of cats, telling you they love you. And when you slow blink back, research suggests they respond to it. They'll often slow blink in return. You're having a conversation in a language that has nothing to do with words, a language that existed long before humans did. The cat sleeping on your chest at 3 a.m. isn't doing it because they're cold or because your chest happens to be a warm surface. Cats are always calculating risk. In the wild, sleeping is when you're most vulnerable. Where you choose to sleep tells you everything about where you feel safest. Your cat chooses you. Out of everything in the world, out of every warm corner and sunny ledge and soft surface, your cat comes back to you. Not because they have to, because to them, you are home. But here's the part nobody talks about. And honestly, this might be the most fascinating thing science has ever uncovered about cats. There's a reason cats act so emotionally complicated with us. A reason the relationship feels like it's on your cat's terms. Always. Like they're giving you exactly as much as they decide you deserve. No more and no less. And it comes down to something called neoteny, which is the scientific term for when adult animals retain juvenile traits. Cats, domesticated over 10,000 years, have stopped going through the same emotional development that wild cats go through. Adult domestic cats essentially stay in a permanent state of kittenhood when they're in a home with trusted humans. The playfulness, the neediness at unexpected moments, the way they sometimes follow you from room to room for no apparent reason. That's not random cat weirdness. That's a grown cat who has decided, consciously or not, that you are their mother. You are the reason they don't have to be a wild, guarded, survival-driven animal. You're the reason they get to stay soft that we used to believe cats were loners. Solitary creatures who didn't need connection the way dogs did. And for decades, that was the accepted wisdom. Cats are self-sufficient, independent, they'll be fine alone. But newer research is quietly dismantling that idea piece by piece. A study published in Applied Animal Behavior Science found measurable physiological stress markers in cats when they were separated from their owners for extended periods. Elevated cortisol, changes in behavior, disruption to eating and sleeping patterns. The same kinds of markers you see in social animals grieving a loss. Because that's what it is on a neurological level. Your absence is experienced by your cat not as neutral, not as just a gap in food provision, but as something closer to loss. They feel it in their body. They wait for you. And when you come back through that door and they trot over to greet you or simply position themselves nearby without making a big show of it, that's not indifference dressed up as dignity. That's a cat who has learned that you always come back. That's trust, deep and quiet and built over every single day you've spent together as, the next time you look at your cat, really look at them. Try to see what the science is showing you. This animal, descended from wild, solitary hunters who trusted nothing and no one, has chosen to be vulnerable with you, has chosen to sleep near you, speak to you in a language they invented for your benefit, slow blink at you across the room like a declaration written in silence. They have rewired their evolutionary instincts because of you. They have stayed soft and playful and trusting in a world that once demanded they be hard. Because in your home, they don't have to be hard anymore. You're not their owner. You're not their human. You're something the cat world doesn't even have a word for because this kind of bond between a wild creature and the specific person who made them feel safe didn't exist until they met you. Tio, your cat. You are not a human. You are not a caretaker. You are something far older and more necessary than any of those words. To your cat, you are home.